We're now being joined by Anjolaoluwa Ero-Philips, President of Nigerian Student Union in Lviv in Ukraine. Great to have you, Anjola. How are you doing? Can you give us a state of play as regards the situation now in Ukraine?
Good morning.
Morning.
It has been a very, very hectic uh, crossing for everybody in general, most especially for Africans. I can speak to the Nigerians that have been crossing over. It's not been an easy task. We are not prioritized. I don't know if it is full-on racism, if it is a diplomatic preference, but from what I'm hearing, it gets worse by the day. Initially, when I crossed over, by the time I crossed over, I didn't experience much racism. We actually were told to stay in a section, and we had a designated person to attend to the foreign student. But as the time went on, I think it got more congested, and now I hear the people that I saw yesterday that crossed over complained of being punched and kicked, and it's very hectic. Um, Even my friends that end up making it to the front of the line after standing for hours, they're not allowed to cross. Initially, they were letting women and children, and then now I hear that it seems like it's only Ukrainian women and children that they are letting in. I don't understand what is happening. The guys end up getting to the front of the line, and then they're told to stay aside. They don't let them cross. They are told to stay aside. Even when you end up getting to the front of the line, you still stand there for hours. I'm not aware of any guy that has crossed recently, and they have been on that line for over 2 days now. They had to get a campfire to keep themselves warm. It is snowing as we speak at that border crossing in Medica from when you're crossing over into Poland from Lviv. Um, I don't know what can be done about that situation, but I would love if the government could look into that for on behalf of us. At some point, they were letting people cross with buses. It was hard for us to get a bus because we couldn't get any bus, but we heard that buses were coming and they were only picking the women and children. At some point, I think the Indian nationals were able to organize a bus for themselves. I don't know how they could do that, how they succeeded in doing that. The Nigerian embassy over here sends people to the border. We have volunteers, students, and Nigerians over at the border in Poland. They're not being allowed to cross over into Ukraine to pick us, the people in Ukraine, to go over because it seems like crossing over by car is the safer option, especially considering the amount of time you spend out in the very, very harsh conditions. Um, it's about -2 as we speak. The last time I checked, it was really cold. And I've been getting a lot of calls. People don't know what to do. Everybody is scrambling. The Nigerian Student Association in Poland is scrambling. Um, the Nigerian Diaspora Organization, they are scrambling. The embassy over here has been helpful in transporting and providing accommodation for the people that make it over here. But the major problem is our people are still at the border over there, and they are facing very harsh conditions. The people that are attempting to cross over via train, it's also very impossible. I've seen videos of them being pushed out of the train. I've seen videos of Ukrainian men not letting them pass. I don't know if it's just them protecting themselves. This is not in line with the Ukrainian spirit that I've known all along. Maybe it's the psychology of the situation now. Maybe everybody's just on edge. I don't know, but there is definitely racism going on.
Anjola, well, I mean, I've listened to you very carefully. Well, self-preservation, they say, is the first law of nature. So although we talk about racism, I raised the point earlier that there's also nationalism, all connected with self-preservation. But it's good you have given an account of the efforts by the Nigerian authorities. But you were quoted 2 days ago, 3 days ago, by a newspaper in Nigeria saying that, in fact, 1 month before the crisis, you made contact with the Nigerian embassy, and the Nigerian embassy was not enthusiastic about providing any help. On January 26, the Nigerian embassy in Kiev issued a statement saying, look, try and help yourselves, look out for yourselves. Subsequently, the other statement just simply said, you are on your own. But we are here to give you information and provide you with necessary consular services. What's your assessment generally of what the Nigerian authorities have been able to do, both out there in Ukraine and also back home here?
Thank you very much. I believe that question was for me about the help of the consul in Poland. Is that correct? I'm sorry, I was trying to connect.
Hello? No, I was asking you
Hello,
about what you were quoted as having said, that 1 month before the crisis, that your association reached out to the Nigerian embassy in Kiev, and that you didn't get any concrete response.
Yeah, that is very correct. It's quite disappointing because we tried to get ahead of it as much as possible since I heard the statements issued by the Americans, and over here they made it seem like, oh, we are monitoring the situation. That was the word they told us. We are monitoring the situation and we will update you in due time. I kept checking, and the response I kept getting was, check the website. We would update you as soon as possible. And then there were a bunch of numbers that were provided over there as regards to call for welfare and all of that stuff. And still nothing. Just keep checking the website. That was January 26th. And then when the war started, when the explosion started, they kind of issued some I don't know what to call it, but it was quite disappointing. The summary of it was that you are responsible for your safety. And that was very disappointing to hear that after we have an embassy over here and all we can get from them is you are responsible for your safety. At that point, we knew that we had to start getting over by ourselves. There was still some whisperings about an evacuation plane that will come and take us away, but it didn't seem feasible, and I was not going to bank on it, and I was not going to advise my people to bank on it either, especially considering that the airspace was already shut. So immediately I got that information stating that we are responsible for ourselves. I just knew that we had to start finding a way across the border by ourselves.
Well, timing was crucial. The reason why you're safe in Poland was because you got a move on quickly, and unfortunately other people lingered. If the proper advice had been given, we might not have been facing this situation. But beyond that, you mentioned evacuation. If that promised evacuation does materialize, will you be on the next flight to Nigeria, or do you plan to stay and wait it out in Poland?
I have no idea. Currently, my situation is that I have 3 months to complete my medical degree. I would hope to God that there is a resolution as soon as possible so that I could get back and complete my degree. I've spent 6 years here already. I do not pray that that will be in vain. So for me personally, I am being very hopeful and prayerful that this situation is resolved soonest.
Right, Anjola, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, and stay safe. We can only wish you the best, and we can't wait to call you Dr. Anjola Ero-Philips very soon. And please keep hope alive. You will complete that medical degree, and we can't wait to call you doctor very soon. Thank you so much, Anjola.
Thank you very much.